ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease.
It affected his speech, but his voice sounds much stronger thanks to artificial intelligence. Seth Kaplan reports.
It's a massive challenge for the industry.
CEO Ben Baldanza, for years his voice was everywhere, from business television to the Airlines Confidential podcast I co-hosted with him.
How does Delta's strategy look right now?
Well, that's a great question.
But then ALS. Listen carefully, and you can hear his voice quivering in this interview we did with him a year ago.
Gouging means really overcharging for something.
Still with his sense of humor, which he still has, but now sounds like this on a podcast earlier this month.
I look forward to our discussion.
Now with co-host Scott McCartney.
When he couldn't offer as much as he did before, I think it was really unfortunate.
Eventually, most ALS patients lose their ability to speak.
So Marcia and Ben Baldanza wondered, could AI give Ben a new voice? But not just any voice.
I told them I don't want a computer voice.
I produced the podcast, and in this situation, we were really fortunate to have over 3 years worth of Ben's voice.
And then uploaded the samples of his audio into our technology, which then allowed him to be able to use his voice.
My first honest thought was, that's great, but I really worried that it would be, kind of like the computer talking and would not be natural.
But then came the latest episode, the first with Ben's AI voice.
Airlines Confidential with Ben Baldanza and Scott McCartney.
Spirit is feeling the pressure to do something quickly.
Well, even with my new voice, I can't comment on JetBlue's plans, Scott.
Because he's on JetBlue's board of directors. But a board meeting is tougher than it used to be.
Yes, but I can talk through the...
You might think this must really be elevating Ben's mood, but the truth is an even better story.
He's remarkably optimistic, and so his mood is always high, upbeat, hopeful, and this disease has not changed that at all.
It's fantastic.
And he called the dog by using his new voice, and the dog turned around and was like, what's going on here?
Most ALS patients live 2 to 5 years after they're diagnosed. Ben was diagnosed 2 years ago.
Not everybody's life turns out the way you want it to turn out. This is the life we have, and this is the life we're living, and it's the life that we love.
One that even still allows them to laugh.
Well, that's all for another episode of Airlines Confidential.
And let us know what you think of my voice, or if you prefer the breathy, garbled Ben. So long, everybody.
In Arlington, Virginia, Seth Kaplan, ABC 27 News.
Another